Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to my cozy corner of the internet. This is Nephilim VA bringing you a one-shot written by a good friend of mine, Wasps, Wasps, Wasps on AO3. If you love Tokyo Revengers and you love Bargy for you, then this is for you. Before we begin, here are the trigger warnings. This fanfiction is for mature audiences with mentions of suicide and a healthy helping of angst, though there's fluff too. If that isn't your style, then I recommend Humans Make Surprisingly Good Pillows, written by DogBlue9 on AO3. It can be found on my channel! Buckle up, everyone. It's about to get real. Now I implore you to sit back and relax whilst I read to you. Nothing compares to you. Red liquid starts to form gloves on my hands. This wasn't how today was supposed to go. How could he be so happy and cheerful one moment, stabbing himself the next? He's my best friend, and yet not even I could predict what he was going to do. I knew he wasn't going to live long, not with the blood pooling in his mouth and on the ground around him. I knew, but I wasn't prepared for it. I'd never be prepared for it. Keeping pressure on the stomach wound, I try to keep him talking to me, tears in my eyes as I hear the sirens getting closer and closer. The knife that was previously embedded into his abdomen now lay discarded on the floor beside him, tears and blood mixing as they both run down his face. I never wished to see him like this again. His breaths were getting shorter and shorter, yet he still turns to me with a smile on his face. "Thanks, Chief, for you." And then it all stopped. His breathing, his smile, his voice, none of them would ever be seen or heard of again. Slowly, with no warning, his life begins to slip away in the comfort of my arms. I start to cry harder, pulling him to me for a hug, wanting to feel the warmth of his body that was fading. No, this can't be happening. I scream his name at the top of my lungs, my heart heavy in my chest. Baji-san! I quickly jolt up and find myself in the middle of the classroom, with all of the other students looking at me. Baji is beside me, giving me a concerned look, asking me if I was okay without using words. I give him a nod and blush whilst keeping my head down. I must have fallen asleep. It was only a nightmare. I let out a sigh of relief. What could have brought the nightmare on? Was it inspired by the horror film we'd watched together at the weekend? Who knows? The teacher went on to give me a detention for my interruption, and being the amazing friend he is, Bargy decided to get detention alongside me. I turn my head towards him and give him a smile, which is happily returned. I try to focus on the rest of the lesson, but end up being distracted by him tying his hair up. I focus too much on him holding his hair tie in his mouth, whilst he carefully uses his hands to gather his ponytail. I've liked him for a while, but was too afraid to say anything. What if he doesn't feel the same way? I must have been staring for too long, because I see him staring back at me, winking before returning to his work. The rest of the day sails by. We ate lunch together and attended our last lesson as usual. Then it was time for detention. We had to staple tests together for the teacher, who left us alone in the classroom while she ran some errands. I was halfway through my pile when he decided to finally speak up. "Are you okay, Chief, for you?" I took a deep breath and swallowed the lump in my throat before nodding. "I'm fine now. It was just a nightmare." He turns to look at me before walking over and hugging me from behind. "Want to talk about it?" I didn't really want to, but this was the only way I'd get over it, by someone telling me that I wasn't going crazy. It was a nightmare. You died in a fight against Valhalla. I had to hold back tears as he pulled me out of my chair to embrace me in his arms.
If you don't mind telling me, how did I die?
I attempted to pace myself and hold him close to me, laying my head on his chest to hear his heartbeat and feel his warmth. You were going to die anyway, so you stabbed yourself in the stomach. I didn't want to meet his eyes, but he began pulling away from me, tilting my chin up so I had to look at his face.
Here, give me your hands.
He unbuttoned his shirt and placed one of my hands on his stomach and the other over his heart, allowing me to feel that he was still alive, still breathing, still here in front of me.
See? I'm not dead.
I blush and nod, so enveloped in his embrace and wanting to continue that I didn't realize the teacher had returned. I quickly removed my hands, and she was curious as to why Baji had his shirt unbuttoned. He was asking me to look at a scratch that his cat gave him. It should be fine, but put a little antiseptic cream over it if you're worried about it. I bit my bottom lip in hope that the teacher believed the lie I'd quickly came up with. Luckily for us, she did. All right, just do that in your own time outside of school. I should give the two of you a longer detention for that, but I'll let it slide this once. You can both go as soon as you've finished the stapling. We both nod and get back to work, and to my surprise, Baji takes half of what's left of my pile after he'd already finished.
How about we go and visit the konbini? I stopped by earlier and they've restocked their yakisoba, and it looks like they have some new flavors.
He gives me a grin, not knowing that it made my stomach flip in a good way. I'd like that. We pushed our chairs under the table before exiting the room, walking side by side. Our hands brush together for a few moments, and my heart feels close to bursting. I hope that he didn't see the rouge starting to spread across my cheeks.
Are you okay? You don't look so good. We can pick up some medicine if you need it.
He voiced, genuinely concerned, which only added to the blush. I'm fine, just a little warm. I take off my jacket and carry it in my arms, rolling my shirt sleeves up and undoing my tie after, trying to make it as believable as possible.
How about we go and get some ice cream after yakisoba? That should help to cool you down. We could wait until it's cold, but then it doesn't taste that great.
He was right, as he was the majority of the time. That sounds like a good idea. Should we sit on the bench outside the konbini? We can just walk in to buy it then. The store was only a short walk away, but with him it felt like an eternity that was never going to show up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support you've given me. I get to be a little bit sappy at the end of this one shot, because a friend of mine wrote this and actually picked out the voices I use for the two main characters. I am so privileged to be their friend, and I hope I'll be able to record more of their one-shots and fanfiction in the future, because their writing is elite. All credits go to the original creator of this one-shot, Wasps on AO3. Please go give them some love over there. There's a link in the description. I would highly appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you subscribed to the channel and you hit the notification bell to be notified of when I next upload. There is no pressure to do so though. Thank you for visiting my cozy corner of the internet. Keep growing my sunflowers. Mwah.